From what sound would look like if it were visible, to why you cannot walk straight while blindfolded, the Planet Dolan crew answers several of your most burning questions about life. My name is Melissa, and I'll be reading out the questions and answers.
Untitled Dolan. I'm here to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm honest like that.
It's funny how your honesty sounds like a pack of lies.
I speak facts the same way fake news spreads conversation.
Did you just call yourself fake news?
Absolutely. What I give is fake news, but it's true. That is what sets me apart.
Lies.
Actually, perspective.
Crafty Time asks, did humans ever have long tailbones?
Sure, but it wasn't because they had a tail like some people think. It was a horn that went straight to the floor. Prehistoric humans could use this to lean back and take a rest after chasing down their dinner or to play their Game Boy Color.
Dylan, do you really expect people to believe that prehistoric man existed at the same time as Game Boy?
Oh, you're right. Game Boy Advance. Peak of culture.
Tailbones are thought to be a leftover of human evolution, theorized to be a remnant of our fish-like ancestors' tails before they could walk upright on land and persisting for some time after. As human evolution progressed, the fleshy tails were ditched by humans' ape-like ancestors when the primates no longer needed them to maintain balance. Spiral Arc asks, if sound were visible, what would it look like?
Heavy smog. Imagine if every time a human opened their mouth, smog burst forth like an exhaust pipe. Hundreds dead at rock concerts from lack of oxygen. The end of civilization.
What if, instead of a deadly fume, it was more like a gentle, sparkly mist?
Fake news. Don't give the people hope. Suffocation is real. There's no such thing as mist. The earth...
Don't say it.
...is flat.
Sound itself is not visible. However, if we use a technique called Schlieren flow visualization, whereby light is focused down to a single focal point, distorted using heat, and captured on camera, we are able to visualize changes in air density. If I could compare it to something visually similar, imagine ripples on a water surface originating outwards from a source of sound. Girly Llama asks, if a black hole formed next to the sun, would the sun be swallowed up?
It'd be like watching something go down a plug hole in your sink. The sun would likely circle around the black hole several times and then finally be pulled down. From there it would end up in the cosmic sewer where it will be carried to the cosmic sea and swallowed up by a cosmic fish, as is the nature of the universe.
That's absurd, Dolan.
You can't prove me wrong. Black holes are so black, they're invisible. Checkmate. Myth busted. Too dark, too furious.
If the mass of a black hole was greater than that of our sun, the sun would be pulled into the black hole. It would likely be that the Earth would also be torn apart and pulled into the black hole too. However, if our sun were to be replaced with an equally large black hole, then the Earth would stay in place. Although, life would not be sustainable without the sun's light and heat. Zach asks, does one person really die every second while two people are born every minute?
Don't be concerned with the amount of people that are born or die. Be concerned about the amount of people that return to life. I have noticed a disturbing trend of people becoming undead around here. I just can't get behind it. Cancel me if you must, but I stand behind my views on necromancy.
Zombies are real?
If it sounds that fake, it must be true.
Roughly 1.8 people die every second while 4.2 people are born. That means, at an estimate, 80 million people are born each year while 56 million die. At this current rate, the population of the world will double every 35 years.
Jeez, that's terrifying. Where's everyone going to live? You're not all staying at my house, that's for sure. I barely have enough room for my clothes. All of them.
Bucci 2015 asks, what were the featheriest dinosaurs?
Little known fact, the closest living thing to a T-Rex today is the chicken. And the featheriest dinosaur was the Chickonus Rex. This thing was huge. If you could get a deep fried leg of this monster at a fast food place, you'd get like a 100th of the way through before going, nah, that's it, I'm stuffed.
People talking about eating large birds always makes me a little uncomfortable.
Huh? Are you a vegetarian?
Yeah, that's why. The largest known feathered dinosaur was a Yelcharynus wally, a distant cousin of the famous Tyrannosaurus rex. The Yelcharynus was only 1/5 the size of a T-Rex, but still measured about 9 meters long and weighed 1.5 tons. Its entire body was covered in fuzzy feathers, if you can imagine such a thing. Being too large to fly, experts believe the feathers were mainly to keep itself and its nest eggs warm. Brian Linnaeus asks, why do certain sounds scare us?
Smog. If everyone on the planet all made noise at the same time, the smog would cover everything, and the armies of the undead would be able to walk in darkness, as they have no love for the sun and sky.
You're thinking of orcs from Lord of the Rings.
The undead and orcs. The fun never ends.
Our brains have evolved to alert us to danger in several ways. One way is to quickly process non-linear sounds. These are sounds that are not persistent in your environment and will jump in frequency, or, to put it simply, an abnormality in the sound you hear at any given moment. Sounds like screams, growls, roars, or buzzing alert us to danger that may be nearby. This is my gamertag 1 asks, do cats and dogs get headaches?
Cats definitely get headaches. You know, they have a hard day scratching up the furniture, coughing up hairballs on recently cleaned floors, bringing home usually dead critters. It's a tough day and it can get to them. Oh, poor things. I really feel for them. Well, at least they're cute. Right, buddy? Why did I even get a cat? I paid for this. Cash money. I paid for pain and dismemberment.
Headaches, particularly migraines, are easy to diagnose in humans as we have the ability to communicate our discomfort. With animals, it's not so easy, and cats lack any official clarification as to whether they suffer from tension headaches or migraines. Cats and dogs do, however, experience headaches when associated with other health concerns, such as head trauma, infections, and dental problems, just to name a few. So, if your lovable pet is acting a little off, take him or her for a checkup. Sadly, we can't take Dolan to the vets.
Oh, Melissa, don't do me like this.
Teshnik asks, why can't we walk in a straight line while blindfolded?
Because blindfolds make it so we can't see. I find people wear blindfolds around their mouths these days anyway. They're not dumb enough to blind themselves.
Those are masks for a pandemic.
Why would you wear a flu mask as a blindfold? That's just stupid.
No, you wear a blindfold to blind yourself.
That's worse. Between the blindfold and the mask, I'm surprised you can function, let alone walk in a straight line.
The skill that gives people the ability to move around their environment efficiently is called spatial orientation. Sight over one's local environment is extremely important for this skill to work. Without it, the brain is unable to effectively process where we are or what direction we are going in, which causes us to walk in circles. This can happen when blindfolded, but has also been observed in other situations, like being lost in a fog. Raptor Doggo asks, what would happen if the Earth started rotating 2 times faster?
You know the thrill of riding a roller coaster? Imagine that, but it's 24/7. Getting out of bed, taking a shower, pouring yourself a coffee, or the endless adrenaline pumping thrills of being completely out of control and moments from death.
Sounds terrible.
It is. It's a good thing it's fake news, right? Wrong.
Days would go by twice as quick, but besides that, the Earth's water would be drawn towards the equator in vast amounts, enough to flood all but the tallest mountain peaks. These regions would also then experience a huge increase in rainfall, to the point of it being nearly constant. If that weren't enough, the increased speed would also result in more severe hurricanes. All in all, it wouldn't be a positive. Matam asks, where does the term last but not least originate?
The previous phrase was last because you're bad, which was a somewhat better term than the one before that, last because you smell. But it's all way better than the very first term. Last, also you're ugly and stupid. You never had a chance. Also, why were you born?
Did you just uncover some childhood trauma about yourself?
No way, I know exactly why I was born. To spread my gospel, the Dolan word. News, fake, but not totally fake.
The exact origin of the term is unknown. A similar phase did appear in the Bible when Jesus spoke on those who would inherit eternal life. Many who are first shall be last, and many who are last shall be first. Meaning, those who are powerful may not be the greatest in the eyes of God. The more common phrase became popular during theater performances, when it was customary for the main star to be introduced onto the stage last.
Ladies and gentlemen, lastly, by no means least, allow me to introduce you all to the new member of Planet Dolan. Look, times are tough, okay? There's a virus that's got the world on lockdown. This is the best we can do right now.